Okay, so right here I just have the beginning of this section. I'll just zoom in, Command plus to bring me in a little closer, and the space bar to center it or move the page around. And those are both located in these two tools, so I can just window shade them out just to set them there for you. And just highlighting this is the default language that comes out. Just create the letter S and grab the corner of this. Just hold the Shift key, keeps it in proportion. So I'll just make it a little bit larger. I can use the fonts up in here. I can type in the number here. I can use the arrow key to increase it so I can still see what's happening on the screen. And then again, inside the font, I'm just clicking it. And I could just toggle through with the arrow key to come up with the letter S like I demonstrated there. So you can kind of get a look. And as you go through this, you're kind of learning a little bit of the fonts, the serif, sans serif, that type of thing, with a particular selection as it goes through them. And as you come through, and again, you may not find the exact one, but this is a pretty helpful way to come through it. So I might just use the Helvetica. When you click on it, it'll show you all the different pieces that are coming through this. So I'm just going to try this Helvetica regular and then demonstrate both ways. So this is the letter S. I'll just make an option, turns into a double-headed arrow. I can duplicate it, set it off to the side. Click on this initial one, and under type, they have these options where it just creates the outline. So now it becomes a shape that does not have the ability to go back to edit as type. So just so you can see that part right into that section. Okay? And he has the D kind of taking a place inside here. So I'm going to take the, I could take the pen tool, but I just want to mix it up a little bit with some of the shapes. I'm going to grab the line segment tool. But I'll window shade these tools out so you can see them. And right in here, I'm just going to click, and you can see it just makes a shape. I'm going to drag it down and take the stroke and increase this a little bit. And again, you can click inside of this so you can get to that side of it. And this is a path, so I'm just going to go to Object Path and outline this stroke. So now this becomes a shape. I'll give it a different color so that you can see it. So that's one way to do it. The other way to be it, just to show it to you, is to take a rectangle tool and just draw the shape. It might be even easier. So as you go through it, there's a couple ways to do this. You'll see these handles on all corners and sides. You can stretch this out, make it a little bit larger, and build that together. Okay. I'm just going to extend it over the edge of this, top and bottom. And now with the selection tool, just click on it. And now I have both items selected, just moving it so you can see it. And go into the Shape Builder tool. When you leave the mouse over just about anything, it'll give you a hint as to what that is. And when this comes across, you can kind of see these things be highlighted. And if you hold the Option key, it'll turn to a minus sign next to the cursor. So I'm just holding the minus sign next to that. And this one I'm just going to connect here, and since it's blue to start with, I dragged it from the blue in, it's going to make that part blue. So there you have that logo, just with a couple colors just so you can see it, kind of created with just that image. Okay, so the stroke or the shape will help it. If you click on it once, you can see it's a separate piece. And this isn't the option of using it with the computer and trying to show you different designs. So if I option and duplicate it, and I want to see what this looks like if this was over to the side a little bit, you can start to adjust some of the different items that happen with the logo. I'll do it one more time where you can take this selection, option, and duplicate it, and do the same thing. Take a look and see what it would be like if this had just the outline to it. And kind of bringing it to what he has there with this one. Turn that off. So it's kind of giving you a little bit of modifications there. The only other alternative would be to, if you didn't want to use the font that way, is to use the pen tool and go right down the center of this with the shift key to hold the handles there and bringing this across. Here I'm just going to switch it so the fill and the stroke are there. And that builds the entire piece up like that. So I'm just going to click off so I don't have it selected. Come back and just shift key to click that piece. So now I have just a thickness. Click in the stroke to increase that. There's the thickness, so it's two pieces, 2 strokes. And I'm going to select them, go to Object Path, and outline the stroke. So now I've used the pen to just create 2 shapes. And since this is a shape now, I can just extend it and do exactly what I did before, but instead of using the font, this is just using the path. So there it is selected. I'll give it a different color here at least. And by switching the color next to that, so I'll click this on a different color just so you can see it. And that builds up that piece. So again, this is just trying to give you some highlight. Both pieces selected. With the shape builder, the option is going to take that off. And the shift key is going to select that. So there's the piece. Make that a blue color. Let's see if that's going to do it. And there you have that selection. Okay. And let's get a better color there. And then again, to do the screenshot, I left it in there so you can see it a little bit. I'm just going to hide the background layer. The tab key I'm going to take off. And I'm going to remove this part. So these 2 pieces I'm just going to set off to the side. Actually 3 pieces. And that'll give me the option to do the screen capture, Command-Shift-4. If I hit the letter F, it'll change those, lose all the windows, but Command-Shift-4 allows me to take that screenshot. And when you go into the Finder, if it's not open, it's on your desktop, and it's the last one. I just happen to have this listed as to what happens today. Click on it inside here and go ahead and put your name for that logo, so you can put your pieces just like that. So there you go with that section.